Hello everybody, welcome back. So we finally got our rejection. Well, I say finally, we got our rejection yesterday. It was a little bit, when I was doing the stream last night to Patreons, I was explaining how there is a very serious chance that I'm going to get humbled with those down token bots that I set up yesterday. I felt like I was trying to negotiate a top with Bitcoin, really. So I was lucky enough to get an OK entry. But when we were doing the stream last night, I was getting particularly concerned because there was a lot of evidence on the chat for a continuation move, to be honest. Not only with Bitcoin, but mostly with Ethereum. Surprisingly, Ethereum was looking pretty decent. And to be honest, it's still not that bad, but my overall direction bias is clearly down, as you all know. And it's not because I'm a bear or a perma bear or a party pooper or anything like that. It's just that's the vibe I'm getting over here on the higher term time frames. And if anyone watches my videos or just a member of the Patreon or has just listened to me over the last few years, normally I would start with something like a weekly, then move to a daily, then a 4-hourly to really work out what's going on. And the weekly, as far as I can tell, as you all know, has been peaky since December. So we've been getting out of trades around December, got out of all the trades around here, and now it's just a matter of waiting to see if this actually does break down. Now, I am expecting it to break down, but not today. Probably not even next month. What I'm looking for anyway is wiggling around within this area. That's what I'm looking for between now and the halving. So it'll go anywhere within this area apart from to the left. That's all it's going to do, and that's what I'd be expecting. So we can easily revisit the top as much as we can revisit the bottom, or even get to the bottom. We're supported here by a 21 and a 20 moving average, sitting around the 36 to basically 38,000. That's mega support. If you're going to buy for the long term, you would buy there. If I was hedge fund manager or whatever, and my projection for Bitcoin is at least a new all-time high, and I was in control of all that money, I'd probably just buy that to start with, or at least I'd put a big chunk in there. I'd say, all right, might not be the bottom, but it's certainly not the top, so we'll do it here. We should be getting 100%, and that's decent value for money. That's true, and that's what it would be. So I'm not suggesting we're going to break down below 37 to 36 or wherever, although I think we probably will. It wouldn't surprise me at all to get a visceral reaction from that 20 moving average, which again is roughly around 36, 37, 38. Anyway, another green line there for no reason. Let's have a look at the shorter term time frames then to see what's going on. We'll start with the hourly and move our way up, and we'll keep these videos short because that seems to be more popular these days. I'm just drawing lots of dots on the screen now. Right, so what we're looking at on the 1 hourly is a downtrend approaching the 200 exponential, which is down here around about the 42,150. Simple moving average, 41,400. So these are the targets really that are on the chart over the next couple of days, I would say. No short signal or anything like that, just a consolidation at this point now. It's not a breakdown, it's not anything like that, so there's nothing to worry about. It's just consolidation after this 1 hourly pump. So, look. That's fine. We've been going up for a couple of days. If we can consolidate now for a day or two, that's fine. If we make a higher low, then there's a chance that we will continue to go back up. If we break down from these areas and start closing below 41,500 over the next couple of days, then we probably are going to keep going down, and we will make a lower low on the on the general vibe of the chart, which is going to be below this low, which is like 38,000. We are and do have an incoming golden cross, right? So a lot of people like to try and trade golden crosses as they get created, or even worse, try and trade them as they are forming. That's not a setup or a signal. This hasn't made a cross. There's no trend in play here, not at the moment. If you were to get a trend and a golden cross, you could wait for the cross and you could wait for the retest and you could try and trade that. But until we get it, there isn't any confirmation of any continuation on this trend. In fact, this often leads into a bull trap. So people trying to get too complacent and clever, anticipating a potential golden cross, and then obviously because it's not there, it just falls through. It's just like the bottom just drops out because it's not a support yet. I mean, technically you can use all moving averages as support, but they add and they carry a lot more weight when they're in the correct position, and these aren't in the correct position. So that's why I wouldn't consider trying to get clever and buy the dip on here. I just don't advise that. Now, this hasn't got anything going for it in either direction. I'm more or less in the short term direction neutral. The fact that we are red today is not a big deal. It's not a massive red. My bots are in profit, obviously, that's fine, but this is not anything special. We could easily bounce up from any of these levels. So I am more or less direction neutral. I don't have a particular bias as of today, but the FOMC meeting is approaching us. And with that will come volatility, which is another reason I thought bots would be a good play, because you're going to get the moves up and down and down and up all over the place. Now, I don't think the Fed are going to lower rates. I think the markets have thought they're going to lower rates, but I don't think the Fed are going to lower rates. I think they're going to keep pausing. I don't see any reason for them to lower the rates, not quite yet. As I was saying yesterday on the Patreon, think about this from the Fed's point of view. You know, you got rates at 5.5%, I think, is the moment, right? So, you know, if and when you need to lower rates to actually stimulate the economy or to avoid some kind of collapse or crisis, you will do it. You won't just do it for fun, for a laugh. You know, 5.5 is higher than it's been, but historically it's not that high. It's actually okay, you know? So we're just not used to that, because at the moment it feels a lot worse because everything's, you know, mortgages, for instance, you know, house prices are ridiculously high. So 5.5% of a high mortgage is a lot of money, but, you know, realistically 5.5% is not a high interest rate. So if you're going to bring the rates down, you'll do it when something big happens. And there's lots of opportunity for big things to happen that's going to impact the economy. Let's face it, geopolitics is heating up literally in every corner of the globe at the moment. So there's every reason that they're going to want to lower the rates later on down the line if something really bad happens, let's face it. So I don't think they're going to do it today or tomorrow or whenever they plan on doing it. I think it's going to be a pause, and I think the market has already priced in a lowering of rates, and so I think that they're going to respond negatively to that. So that'll be a Dixie up and a markets down. But throughout that process will be volatility. But the general direction, I think, as a result of the FOMC, is going to be down. Remember, I was saying leading into the this event, I said, look, this has been priced in. It's likely going to have a negative response. The other two things that are priced in are the halving and Fed lowering of rates. So, you know, if they don't lower the rates, which I think they like I say, the market's already priced it in. If they don't lower the rates, it's going to be another sell the news. And then the halving, again, is bullish long term, but, you know, it's already priced in. You're going to sell the news again. So there's three events, all of them bullish, each one of them having a negative response on the chart. Sounds counterintuitive, but markets are always ahead of the actual event. Always. Very rarely, unless something comes out that no one's ever heard of, like a SEC lawsuit loss against XRP, something like that, then yeah, you have a positive response. But still, you know, that still marked a peak on the chart anyway, didn't it? So buy the rumor, sell the news. I think the news will be sold, and then again we'll lead into the halving wherever the price will be at the time, and then we'll sell off as a result of that. So look, a bit hocus pocus trading there. You know, that's not particularly based on what we're looking at. That's just based on observations in years past. But it's one that I might as well stick to, especially as I believe that the temporary top is in, and we do need this to consolidate over a longer period of time so we can think about picking up Bitcoin and mostly altcoins really for the inevitable bull run towards the end of this year, leading into next year where things will get really exciting. So long as the world has not set itself on fire, that would be. Right, so I'm going to leave with you there, but if you want to join the Patreon, there's links in the description below, Telegram also, and if you could like and subscribe to the channel, I'd be very grateful. Thanks for watching, hope you have a nice day, take it easy.